Ramon, how the heck are you this morning?
Is that the Mindy Hahn, the Midwest premier sports handicapper, coming off a 5-2 performance, combined with her morning steam partner, also 5-2 together? Mindy, you were 10-4 yesterday. If you combine your picks and our picks together, you could even throw in my 3-2, but that would hurt our percentage. So let's just stick with. Well, I'll go with 10-4, but if you want to go with 13-6, that's still pretty darn good.
Heck yeah, I'll take both of those records. How about every day, even? Right?
Well,
I mean, yeah, if we can stay on that kind of hot streak, I think we'll be okay.
welcome in Team Steam. Hope you had a pretty good day as well. I think our service plays were a little bit stronger than our video plays. I think we can say that. We can say that we definitely had some winners on the show. Hello to everyone. Thank you. We're great to see you in the comments. Come on in and join us and chat with us before we get rolling on the games today. We're going to talk a day early. We're going to talk about the World Series, Game 1 tomorrow, tomorrow's game. We're going to talk about the basketball card, the hockey card, and of course it's Thursday night football. And we'll see what's going on with that crazy point spread right now in that game. But just want to thank everyone for joining us and everyone coming in to the chat. Let's say hello to Blake. He's first today in the chat. We'll wait. For some people, more people to come in, Mindy, we'll go over to Tony'sPicks.com and take a look at some of those winners from yesterday. But we did well on the show with our Team Steam picks. We had Dallas and New Orleans over. We had, no, come on. What am I doing? I got the wrong sheet. Come on. Right?
It happens. It's early, Ramon.
All right, here we go.
All right, we got it.
Yes. That was that. Put this one in the trash. That was from 2 days ago.
Yeah, I don't know if we want that one, do we?
No, otherwise we'd be digging up our only day where we haven't won this week. Which, of course, to start off at the top of the card, we did have that loser, Orlando and Cleveland. Shame on us. Actually, now looking back on that game,
by 6 buckets.
Yeah, but it was never. It just seemed like it was never happening, right?
Right.
In that one, so no shame on us there, but no big deal because we came back strong with Milwaukee confidently doing it in the fourth quarter against Brooklyn. Also, Toronto, they did a nice job in the second half, got us a winner there. And under in Indy and Chicago, when that number was very, very high, and we said to go under. And Houston, Utah, another game with a high total that we scored with the under. So good picks there. And then in hockey, Rangers, Islanders. I think I nailed that one pretty good with that pick on the Islanders, and we had the total under.
That's
and right. The late game, we almost got there.
Yeah.
In fact, shame on us, right? I mean, we could have. Again, we talked about it too. That sixes were out there, but had to go with a 6.5, right? I don't think we got to push, right? We got an L on that.
Yeah, we had to go with the 6.5. Yes.
And the last goal was with 3 seconds empty netter. Wasn't even like a real empty netter. It was like the last ditch empty netter. So that's okay. 5-2 for Team Steam. Let's take a look also, Mindy, at your record on the day with that 5-2 performance. What did you have going on?
Yeah, so I had a pretty nice day there. I had the Jazz was my my favorite pick of the day. That one came in. Then I had Cavaliers, and then I had the Nets under the 233, and that one was pretty much way under in that one. And then lost with the Pacers and then the Trailblazers. I'm like, man, what happened to them? They just were hanging in there all the way till fourth quarter. And then it just kind of really went wonky for them, giving up, 20-point differential there in that one.
I gave out the Blazers on our video yesterday, even though I looked at that line move and I said, man, this is one where you got to respect the move. You got to respect the sharps here. And I didn't do it. And I paid the price with that video pick. But you had a nice pick on that game, Minnie. Don't forget on the under in the Miami-Portland game here on the show. So great pick, though, with Tampa Bay. with their backup goalie in there doing a nice job, proving that the Anaheim got some issues, I think, right now. And you came through with Utah laying that good number as well. Um, yeah, Indiana, I kind of was on board a little bit with. I didn't do anything as far as any picks on Tony's picks, but I definitely was looking at the Pacers yesterday. Brooklyn and Milwaukee under. You got me there, Mindy. I had the
Yeah.
other side, so there you go. I went 3-2. You went 5-2. There's one of them. You had the winner. I had the loser. And Islanders. Glad you followed, or you probably put it in first. I was following your lead with my pick on Tony's show yesterday. Islanders 3-0 victory, and Cleveland over Orlando, like you mentioned, big win there. So, and Team Steam, good day. We talked about it there as well. And I went 3-2 with my premiums. I'll just cover the highlights here since it was only hit 60%. But look at that. I'm on top of the algorithmic 7-day leaderboard there on the all cappers tab. So better check out my overall numbers. How about that? I'll look at my overall numbers, which I'm so glad Tony likes to do it too.
Yeah.
Especially those right there, right? NBA, NHL, NFL.
Yep, the ones that we're currently covering right now.
Pretty much. Look
This
at that.
time of the season, Ramon's hitting a stride.
Thank you. Keep talking if you want, but I'll just cover my highlights. They were yesterday Detroit Pistons. I got there by a half a point. Beat Team Mindy and Tony with their video picks yesterday by a half a point. I got lucky there on that one. Also had a premium winner. Philadelphia and Toronto, when it seemed like the world was on the under there, Philly and Toronto, but it goes way over. I had the over there, and I also had a premium winner with, get this, Mindy, I know you took the Lakers on our show, but I had to go with Denver, and I'm sure you're regretting it now because
of course I am. Of course
Lakers,
I am, Ramon. Because, Tony had that one, for his game day as well. I thought they'd be able to hang in there. No,
well, every show in the world wants to talk about the Lakers every day. They're not even worth. Are they even worth it anymore? I know. That's
well, it's kind of one of those, they're gonna win some of the times, and then it's kind of one of those. I felt like they kind of ran into just a nice spot that they can maybe steal something away. Vegas was kind of giving that indication with the spread being 5. I mean, otherwise, if they were expecting this kind of blowout, probably would have been 8 or 9, something like that. So it's one of those that I thought there may be a little bit of, indicators. Again, they shot better, right? They were 24% instead of 21. But yeah, still, just struggling, rebounding, missing shots. Man, can't win.
Man, Denver, they got the best player in the world in a way, don't they? I mean, the man can do it all. I mean, he could be your point guard, right? He could be a gigantic point guard, Magic Johnson style, if he wanted to, it looks like, with Jokic. What a player. I mean, just such a joy to watch him, and with such professionalism as well. Watch out, Denver Nuggets. Everybody's kind of healthy, right?
Yep.
Yeah, look out, Denver Nuggets.
Also, with LeBron is constantly complaining to the refs and such, and I don't think that's a real good look for a team either. It kind of looks more, like they're in desperation mode.
They are
the first week of the of the season, and I know you don't want to get off to to bad starts, but you have a whole season here to build, and it's just not really a good look for anything that's going on with the Lakers right now too. Just visually, it doesn't look good.
And I don't remember what they said the percentage was, but 0-4 teams just don't make the playoffs.
Well, sure.
So the Lakers, and what kind of move are they really going to make? You could throw around Westbrook's. Nobody. Nobody in their right mind is going to take a deal for Westbrook. They're just going to cut him anyways. It just seems ludicrous. The Lakers are stuck right now in their little situation. They could try some other maneuvering, maybe, but they look like their hands are tied until further notice. So,
right.
You thought, you thought Matt Ryan was a football quarterback. No, he's the Lakers' deep threat at this point. So,
Oh, funny.
okay, well, yeah, we could bag on the Lakers all day. I like, the Lakers fan kind of just because I've watched those games.
Yeah, I
But
didn't realize how kind of small of a team they are too, especially those guys that come off the bench.
oh,
Uh, you know, that's something that I hadn't really noticed before either. It's just their height. They're not very tall. Guess I hadn't looked at the reservists' height. So yeah. But yeah, it should be another good one here tonight. I enjoyed watching basketball. I mostly had hockey on the main TV last night, and had the base or the basketball games on the side. So yeah, I was having a good, relaxing night of sports.
and good day for Daniel, 5-0. He's on a little bit of a run here. Ben,
Cool.
4-1, checking in at top of the leaderboard. And there's Mindy and me, Mindy and I. Moni and Mindy. With that record, 10-4 for you combined, and I share in your success. And I'm down there at 3-2. GM goes undefeated. Sam continues to roll, just 2-0, but another undefeated day. And did we get anybody else on the leaderboard? Brandon checks in. Oh, he had a nice dog winner somewhere in there. He ends up in plus money, and Nick plus.
He
money.
had the Lightning minus 1.5, and so he was real happy with scoring a goal with 3.9 seconds. He got the plus 170.
Oh yes, well, glad it worked out.
Because I was like, "Hey, Ramon, we got
somebody.
2.2 seconds. Maybe we could get another empty netter right off the face-off." But no luck.
Yeah, Anaheim's got problems, so good day for the crew. And take a look at the weekly leaderboard as well. And I'll just put that on there since I'm on top of the weekly leaderboard. And then the monthly leaderboard, Nick continuing to crush. Can he get to that 4-dime mark? Well, he might be able to with some more action coming up. And let's get rolling. Let's head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 20% off all premium pick packages. You can check out some of the features there over at Tony's Picks, including our best bet tab, where our cappers have their best bet in each game. Tonight, Daniel's got Thursday night best bet, morning's team. There's our plays. Mindy, for college football tonight on the big card. We're talking NFL tonight, but all of our college is up for the first part of the card, including tonight's games. Our videos are up right now on YouTube and all the platforms. Mindy, I was checking out just how wide those platforms are, and I can't. I was said we're going to be famous, but you know what, man, those things all over the place. We're on Amazon podcast, just so many of them. It's just terrific. So Mindy, Han, Ramon, Scott joining you on the Morning Steam podcast. We might have to be a little more, be more formal here, but not with our crew. Ben's got something today going. Tiffany, couple of sports. Mindy, you got an NHL Thursday late night best bet. I can see the card there. It's coming from probably one of those West Coast games tonight on the Big Ten game card.
Late night, you got it.
All right, and also our $15 picks, which are introductory and discount picks from our cappers, and the popular 3-pack and multi-game packs over there that Mindy are probably going to deal a few more. Mindy and I are going to deal a few more here in just a little bit, I bet. But she's got NHL Power Play Pass 5-pack, 5 of the 10 games in a package today, Mindy. So awesome. Get rolling here. Let's get on over to what we're here for, because we got a lot of games to cover.
That's right.
And welcome.
Thanks for joining us this morning. Don't be shy. Make sure you get in the chat. Let us know who you got, how you did, what your questions are, anything good like that.
Felt confident with the Lakers there.
Jumping in.
The one thing that one more, maybe if I could just say one more thing about the Lakers and LeBron, though, I really would like somehow to find a way. I don't, whatever you want to call it, with, however the NBA could do it, rig it up. I don't care, rig it up. I want to see Bronny James play with his son. I just think it'd be awesome. Really never seen anything like it, right? I mean,
since the Griffies, and not in basketball, you don't find it.
Right, in basketball, it seems like a little bit different, right? Than that even, again, because, I mean, well, Junior was an impact player when he came up, and, Senior was well past his prime, even though they did have some spectacular moments together, hitting home runs in the same game. But for LeBron, who, everyone says we're all disappointed it's working out like this because, he looks like still a very capable championship player on the court without enough around him and AD. Whether or not it's a chemistry issue, even with LeBron possibly or anything, we know that the talent level's not there on the rest of the roster. But again, to put that type of team together, you got to pull strings here and there. And that's the situation we're in. So somehow, some way, Bronny James and LeBron, that's what I'd like to see. And I don't care if people end up saying, oh, the NBA rigged it. They should.
You're like, yeah, let's rig it. It's a good storyline.
Maybe this is a secret tanking by the Lakers. Wait, is this the year? I don't know. Bronny, maybe going to. I'm not sure. Maybe going to Ohio. Remember, where did they go? And they were welcoming him. It wasn't Ohio State. Maybe it was, but. All right, let's just talk about the sport.
we'll search it up on the interwebs for tomorrow.
I know he went to Sierra Canyon. That's out here. So, Maurice, nice to see you, and we'll get right into it with rapid fire free picks right now on the morning steam. And we're going to start with Major League Baseball. Tomorrow's game 1 of the World Series, and who'd have thunk it, with Philadelphia and Houston. Mindy, I made the prediction. I think Houston has tremendous value. Look, here they are in game 1, $1.65. If the series, I think it's actually gone up a little bit because, maybe my play got out there, right, or something. But but again, here, this is about as good as it gets Aaron Nola's pitching. Right? I don't know where you rank him and Wheeler right now, but going up against Verlander, who, he's the ace of the Astros, but they got other starters too. You talked about them, all those ERAs that are, under 3 in the starting rotation or whatever, up and down the line. They seem to have the better, Houston about $1.85 in the series now. So, I really like Houston. I wouldn't ever say in a situation like that, oh, they should be a $3 favorite in the series, but I would bet them like they were a $3 favorite.
Yeah, so I know that you like Houston in this one, and I do like, these Phillies, bats, right? And I do think that this might be the spot here for Philadelphia, and that's kind of how I've handicapped this one here today, right? Phillies and Astros finished the regular season with a 3-game series against each other in Houston. Phillies won the first game of that series 3-0. And then the Astros won the last 2 10-3 and 3-2. I kind of feel like we're kind of maybe in like a similar situation here. The Phillies, they've homered, 15 times in its last 7 playoff games. Those bats are hot. It must be looking like a beach ball coming in. Harper has 11 extra base hits in his last 10 games. Hoskins only has 4 hits.
Yeah, I want to hear about it.
But Hoskins has 4 hits, but those 4 hits were home runs, right? Then Nola, he's made 16 starts here. And since the All-Star break, in those 16 starts, he has not allowed more than 1 earned run in each of those games. He's 7-1 with a .57 ERA. Now, on the other hand, we know Verlander's great. We know the Astros are 7-0 in postseason. But Verlander, he's 1-3, 6.87 ERA in game 1s of a postseason series. So again, I kind of feel like maybe he's not in the best, spot. In those, in those last 4 games, he has a 6.30 ERA. Teams are hitting, 3.10 against him. But if you look at the rest of these Phillies pitchers here, all of the rest of the Astros pitchers here, they've only allowed 1.16. They only have a 1.16 ERA, and have only allowed a .153 batting average, 153 batting average. So yeah, I like the Phillies in this one. I'm going to take them plus 40 to jump out game 1.
Yeah, I think you're doing it because of price play. I think you outlined the fact that you probably agree that up and down man for man. The roster, is going to be deeper. But I mean, this is Major League Baseball, right? And they still have to win 4 out of 7 games, including this one. And I know your pick is for Game 1, right? In the game. And again, I mean, this is
the spots.
we're nice. The Phillies have their best pitchers going in the 2 road games, right? So that's another good thing for the Phillies, I think, there, right? Because that's what they need. They've got to get into, hopefully, to extend that game into the later innings, a low score and everything. Like, sure, I mean, look, don't get me started. I'm still in pain over pitching to Bryce Harper. With you're basically your ace who hadn't pitched all series, who could have gone 6 outs, in there. But again, the right-hander had been strong too for San Diego. So, anyways, oh boy, bad memories coming back. But just for me, I think the price is still pretty good. But I'm going to take under in the first game. I also don't mind under in the first 5, and I also don't mind Philadelphia team total under in the first 5. I think Verlander gets off to just a tremendous hot start. He seems to be right there in the clutch situations with his best performances. So I'll end up going under, though. Give Nola credit, what you said as well. So in Game 1, Mindy's taking Philadelphia plus $1.40, and I'm taking the under 6.5 at even money or so.
Should be a good one. Can't wait. And so we needed to do it today since we're not
That's right.
tomorrow morning.
That's why we did it today, because we will not be here tomorrow. And Butterscotch says an easy under. Maybe Philly steals it. So that's our pick right there. You and me and Butterscotch. Well, and again, I mean, I'm going with
the Astros.
I'd say, probably maybe it'd be might even pretty tough to put $1.65 in a premium, but I'm probably going to do it. And I do like Houston in 5 or 6 games. Just to be clear on that. As a I can't put it in the system, but that's a premium play for me. I like the Astros in the World Series, and I don't play the World Series that hard as far as sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. This time I do. I like Houston, and if Philly wins, man, hats off to them. They've had a great season, and of course, I'll be taking another one for the years to come, thinking about what might have been.
Right.
All right, we've got to get into NBA basketball. I think should be next for us. Mindy, we're going to save football. Keep everybody, hopefully, we're not making everybody mad because we're not doing football, but that's a little strategy. I was taught by Tony. Keep them sticking around maybe for the big game tonight between Baltimore and Tampa Bay. And, of course, we'll preview the early games as well, including the game from London between Denver and Jacksonville. That one sounds like it could get pretty ugly. So just want to thank everyone for straggling in. And while we get to the NBA, got to bring up James's comment over on the Magic game was a dud. And, we covered that right away. First thing out of the box. Once I found my sheet. But, we misfired on that game, Mindy. But, again, we talked about our 5-2 night with the premiums. So that's why I'm bringing it up. Thanks, James. But no doubt about it. I think our handicap was off on that one.
It happens. It's going to happen more. We try more times than not to be wrong. That's all.
Now, AI Strag Live coming in with picks. Before we get started, I'll just flash them all on screen. These are his picks of the day. We're between sports here, so we can
thanks for commenting. We appreciate it.
Yep. That's kind of exactly what I want to see by some just bringing in their picks. If you do comment on the picks that we talk about in progress, if you're watching the show live, try to add one of the team names if you can, so that I don't put your pick on the wrong game and then all of a sudden you're like talk about the under and you're talking about the previous game. So let's get rolling, Mindy, with NBA. It's just a Thursday night 4-game card, TNT night, with a couple of regional games thrown in there as well. Thanks again. Good to see everyone in the chat. One more play before we get started. And James says he likes Washington State in that game against Utah. James is Go back and watch the videos. But James is on Washington State. How did I do, Mindy? I didn't give it away, did I?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I
Go
think you
back
were
and watch our videos. We
sneak attack.
previewed the 4 Thursday night games, right? The 3 Thursday night games we previewed, and also the 2 Friday night games on the Monday show. So, right, was it Monday or Tuesday? Monday? One of those.
Monday.
Anyways, just type in the game
Monday.
you're looking for with Morning Steam in the YouTube chat, and you'll find it as well. But we did those games earlier in the week. All right, let's get rolling, Mindy, with the basketball action today in the NBA. And start with the Dallas Mavericks. They're a favorite here on the road. In fact, they are kind of a moving favorite here, if you will, in this one, because I show that in this game that Brooklyn actually might have started about a 1.5-point favorite. Now Dallas is favored. So you know probably what I think about this one. And the total is 226.
Yeah, I mean, it had probably a lot to do with the performances, last evening. I am going to take the Mavs, though, in this one. They're 6-1 against the spread. The last 7 Thursday games, 5-2 versus teams with a losing record here as well. Those Nets, they're 1-6 in their last 7 overall. I thought they played hard, just, again, a little sloppy. Especially underneath, kind of had a hard time rebounding yesterday as well. But we thought that would happen. I mean, Giannis had a great game. What, he put up like 43, something like that. And I mean, he's tough to stop. So, we thought it might go that route. But yeah, I like the Mavs here in this spot.
Well, I'm on it. I'm on it with you. A little concerned about Dallas's 0-2 road record so far, but we know that something is broken right now with the Nets until further notice, right? They're 1-3 against the straight up and against the spread so far. And even though Dallas is 1-2, they are 2-1 against the spread so far. So, I know this is just the start of the season, but just goes to show that I think Dallas is a team that, could have a pretty good game here. We're not getting the best number right now, I guess, but it could go higher the way the money's coming in on Dallas. So let's take Dallas and lay 2.5 against the Nets. And James said he likes the over there, but I will caution you that total seems to be moving to the under on the early sharp action there. So we're on the Mavs. Mindy started off. Hey, it feels good when we're winning. It feels a lot easier to not to just agree with you, but that we're on it. We're on this right now. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Crush. I think we've got the right side here. I really feel like we got the right side here with this one. And I wanted to tell you, I didn't tell you backstage, but I also want to tell you this. I think we're on the right side of a lot of those early college football games on Saturday where we caught off to a slow start last week. In going back and reviewing what we did and checking my market move analysis, we're on some sides there. So,
all right, I like it.
Yeah. All right. Clippers at the Thunder. The Clippers are favored in this one, -7. Total is up to 217.5. This one's been creeping up a little bit after an initial move lower. So that's what we call a head fake.
Head fake. Yeah, and then I was like, oh, come on, you guys, let's go chat. And then look at me go against, the Strag Life here. I'm going to take the Thunder. Clippers, they're 1-5 against the spread in the last 6 meetings here. 2-9 against the spread in Oklahoma City. Thunder 4-0 last 4 home games versus a team with a winning record. And then 7-1-1 last 9 games following a straight up win of more than 10 points. Give me the Thunder.
All right. Mindy says, take the Oklahoma City Thunder. They are 1-3 straight up, but 3-1 against the spread. That's something I do kind of like. Worried a little bit. The move came in on the Clippers. It is a pretty big number to lay, though, right now. The Clippers team that really didn't do the job last time and is 1-3 against the spread overall. Teams are combined, though, Mindy, 1-7 to the under so far. But I just have to respect this market move. Look, this series goes under as well. But look, it's still a low number. Maybe people are going to look at those that 1-7 combined mark to the under and figure these are two, and the pace kind of shows that they are, but I'm going to go over in this one. It looks to me like the sharps are on the over. And well, I've been kind of, you remember, you know how I say sometimes I'm fading the sharp. I've actually, that's where I've been taking some losses. So you're going to see a little bit more move, getting back to what works. I know I'm doing pretty well. I'm a pretty strong week, but the
Right.
few losses that I'm having,
You've
I
just
think I've
noticed that
already
trend
kind of
there too.
pinpointed what I'm
Yeah.
doing wrong. So I don't know. That might be talking. That's like my version of talking trash.
Yeah.
Dominique, nice to see you here. Great to have everyone with us in the chat today, and the show numbers continuing to climb. That makes me happy. Heat and Warriors, a game that I struck out on, I think, yesterday with the Heat game. But here the Warriors are favored by 7.5. Call it 7 now.
Okay.
227.5.
Yeah, I was wondering if there was going to be any sort of line movement on this one and which way it might go. Looks like it had kind of just settled there and stayed.
Yeah.
Warriors, I'm going to take a look at the over here. The over's 4 out of the last 4 games. Do the over versus the Heat, 4-0 in the Warriors' last 4 overall. We've seen these Warriors average well into the 120s in most of their games. I think they only missed it once. They're also 9-2 in the last 11 Thursday games. I'll take the over.
Yeah, well, we've got a premium consensus here, I think, on this one as well, and let's get on it as soon as we can. It's it opened 223.5. We're already going to have to go to
Yes.
227.5. Dom says he likes the Warriors, and yeah, it was Crush. Well, you know what, Dominique, I was going off of I thought about last time and uh, uh, misidentifying the gender, and in today's society we don't want we're about all the uh, pronouns, right? But I also was thinking of Dominique Wilkins, Mindy. Yes, the human highlight reel. So that's what I was thinking of. You going up for a jam. That's what I was thinking. So, anyways, Mindy, I have to agree with you on this one. Golden State 4-0 to the over, and the series has gone over in the last 4 meetings. Miami's done pretty well in this series, and I think they might actually hang in here. Warriors, I mean, obviously they're not covering. They're favored by a lot, but you know what? Miami's not getting numbers either right now. They're
Right.
combined 2-7 to the spread. So call me scared at this point. The leans to Miami. How's that? You might get something from me later on Tony's show or something. I don't know if I can even get premium-y with this one. And I like the over in this one. Let's figure that the Warriors keep their situation going, and especially what happened yesterday. I think with that Miami Portland game, it going under, but the performance that Miami had, and now they're going on the back to back. So that could spell a little bit of trouble. Even though I like the way they looked yesterday, Miami might be worth some looks here. I mean, we know they're pretty good, but they're pretty good. They're going to get some numbers. Let's go over, Mindy, 227.5.
Let's do it. Consensus play.
All right, 2 out of 3 so far, and coming up that 5-2 day. Let's talk about the Grizzlies and the Kings. The Kings are taking the action, Mindy. I don't know if that help what you're going to come with here, but they were laying 5 in the opener. They're now laying just 3, and this total is up a tad from as low as 234, went as high as 237, and has settled back down to 236.5 now.
Yeah. So again, I'm gonna kind of go against our chat folks here. I'm gonna take the under. Under's 4-1. The Grizzlies' last 5 Thursday games, 4-1 the last 5, playing on 2 days rest, and 5-1 to the over following a straight up win. 8-3 following an ATS win for the Kings there as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and go under the total of 236.5.
Well, Memphis looks great, man. I mean, Ja Morant, they look great. What can you say? They're 3-1 so far. Sacramento's 0-3, but they are 2-1 against the spread. And Memphis, they're not playing much defense really, or at least the scores are going over. I don't know if you're ranking them where you're ranking the Grizzlies defensively, but over has gone in this series quite a bit as well. So that's what kind of worries me there. The total moving to the over. Again, there was a little bit buyback on the under. So you're getting a great number. I think you're getting one of the best numbers, certainly with your under. But I'm going to take the Sacramento Kings to pick up their they might even pick up their first win here. But we'll take 3 points. Just in case, because it could be a spectacular, exciting finish. Sounds like a pretty awesome game tonight. Even if it does go under, we're going to get close to 225, 230 points. So should be a pretty awesome game tonight between Memphis and Sacramento. Mindy's on the under 236.5, and I am on Sacramento +3. And that's at the NBA with 2 premium consensus plays. Dallas -2.5, and Miami and Golden State over 227.5. 2 plays.
We got it. Sounds like wins.
Team Steam coming off the 5. Did I say 5-2 yesterday? All right. Got a big hockey card now. And we already talked about, Mindy, you're locked and loaded with 5 premium plays. But let's get into it. Let me call up my goalies here because I think we pretty much had the right goalies, the ones that did have the changes, right? We still went with Sorokin, even though the Rangers, they downgraded. They went with the backup, but again, I think we had it right. So, okay, yeah, Crush says Grizzlies don't play any defense. Probably right. So let's start it off with Florida and Bob in goal going up against Philadelphia. It looks like Philadelphia is finally being called out here for the fraud that they are. Florida's still Florida pretty good, but the way Philadelphia's played, you wouldn't think they'd be a $2 dog. They're 4-2. They're at home, but they are a $2 dog. They're plus $1.75 or so, and the total 6.5 over 25.
Yeah, so there's a couple of those big money lines out there today. So I like to stay away from that. There are some of the puck lines that I like out there too. Most of my premium plays are going to be on Tony's site on the money lines. So you're going to get a lot of totals from me here today, Ramon. We're going to take the under here in this one. Unders 15-2 in the last 22 in Philly. Under 5-0 in the Panthers' last 6 Thursday games. 4-1 in the Flyers' last 5 overall. And Hart, geez, he only allows 1.5 goals per game here as well. I like the under.
All right, and I'll just deal out Florida as a $2 favorite.
You're gonna do it, huh?
Free play, everybody. Florida -$2. Look, Florida, they are 4-2-1. I know Philly, like I said, they're 4-2. Hats off to them. And Florida, look, here's what I don't want to lay the puck line, Mindy. I mentioned it last time, and it happened again. They're 1-6 to the puck line so far. So
yeah, and I don't know if you had seen, last night too, when they're covering, hockey, just saying that most of the teams are blowing these, 2-goal, scenarios here as well. It's like it's been about 14 of them where a team has been up by 2 goals and it has ended in, just a 1-goal differential.
Is that happening during the empty netter, or is it happen, or just in?
Well, they didn't specify, right? But they were talking like the Ducks last night. The Lightning were up 2 goals on them and let them get back into that game. So it's just one of those. Some of those could be the empty netters. We have seen that a handful of times this year too.
Yeah,
but it just seems like these games are running a little bit closer this season.
Well, yeah, and look, and Dom says take Philly on the puck line. I mentioned Florida is 1-6 on the puck line. Philadelphia is 5-1 on the puck line. So
right.
Look, it looks on the surface like, to me, I'm not going to give out even Florida as, I'm not going to give out a $2 play, a $2 road favorite here this early like this, without it being like a playoff game or a key game or something. But I'm not going to lay a goal and a half. I just think Philly can win the game. Florida can win the game and probably not cover probably win by 1.
Right.
I really would say take Philadelphia because the value is technically on Philadelphia. It should be a 1 goal game with, even with a good team should be more like $1.50, $1.65 or something like that. But that's why I'm giving out as a free play. I like Florida to win, but Mindy's got the under at your better odds play of the day of the game. How's that?
That's good.
All right, Montreal, Jake Allen, Buffalo, Craig Anderson. Anderson looking pretty good so far. Buffalo favored in this one, $1.65, 6.5 over 25.
Yeah, I mean, the Canadians have such a bad shooting and power play percentage. They're 29th and 31st in the league. The under is 6-2-3 in the last 11 in Buffalo, 3-1 in the last 5 meetings between each of these two. And then the under is 6-1-1 in the Sabres last 8 overall. I'm going to go ahead and, of course, take the under.
Okay. Yeah, we learned our lesson 2 nights ago. Yeah, I should be, you'd think I'd be on these totals with you a little bit, right? I mean, these teams are combined 3-8 to the under so far. Montreal 1-5 their last 6 trips into Buffalo. Anderson's looked good though to me, Mindy, with just giving up 2 goals in his two starts, both wins so far. Buffalo, not only are they 4-2, they're 5-1 on the puck line, and I like that a lot. I'm going to take Buffalo. Laying $1.65. Got another big favorite for you here. I'm laying chalk in the NHL. Oh gosh!
I know, that's what I said. I didn't really like these these big money lines, so we're getting totals here.
Tom says he crushed hockey last night.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay, Oilers, Islanders. That
Nice.
sounds like your card.
Pretty much, right?
Yeah, I went with. I think I went with St. Louis. Yeah.
Oh yeah, on the free pick, maybe game.
Yeah,
pick?
on the social, I think. Yeah, on the social media.
Somewhere. I mean, somewhere out of our.
Somewhere I lost that one. So I was 2-1 or whatever. All right. Continuing on. Minnesota and Ottawa here. Fleury, Forsberg possibly. Minnesota on the road, $1.20 favorite, 6.5 over 15.
Yeah, I'm going over between these two. It's 5-1 the last 6. Senators alone are averaging, 5 goals a game, and then the Wild are averaging, 3. And then you got Fleury here for Minnesota. He gives up 4.3 goals per game. I'll take the over.
All right. Mindy says go over that 6.5, and I'm going to take the Ottawa Senators. Yes, I am. Ottawa's 4-2, 5-1 on the puck line so far. They're 4-0 at home. Minnesota has dominated this series, 9 of the last 10 meetings. But there could be scoring, Mindy says. So I think that's going to benefit Ottawa in this one. Minnesota's 5-1 to the over, and 5 of the last 6 meetings have gone over. So I see where Mindy's coming from on this one. Does kind of worry me that's juiced up there. I'm not gonna get a premium out of this, a consensus out of this one, because I'm going to take Ottawa here at home at about even money or so. Got to make up for some of those favorites. I'm going to take Ottawa. Mindy is on the over in Minnesota and Ottawa. Detroit and Boston. Boston, Mindy. If we want to talk about one of the best teams right now, you got to start right now with Boston. I would think they're a 6-1 record, undefeated at home, and they're a big favorite here, laying 220 now. Yeah, 220 total, 6.5 over 25.
Yeah, I mean, the Bruins are, second in goals for. Both of these teams have a really nice shooting percentage. Overs 10-4-1 the last 15 in Boston, 4-1 in the Red Wings last 5 overall, 9-1-1 the Bruins last 11 versus the Eastern Conference. I'll take the over.
we got ourselves a premium consensus, and
Finally.
it's another over, but that's okay because you know what? It's pretty big mover. It's a pretty big mover. So I think Boston. In fact, you know what, Mindy? You look. I don't want to. I think I actually have a typo on the screen. I don't want anybody to think that I'm changing the line to 6/25. But I think anybody can look at the lines out there right now. If anybody sees mostly 6.5, let me know. I mean, but obviously, if it's 6.5, it's juiced to the under for sure. So that kind of shows you that I think that I had a typo up there, but we're going to go over, and whatever it is in the back end, we'll have to go with it. If it's 6.5 under, 25, we're going over. If it's 6/25, we're going over. There's
Right.
no doubt we're going over in this one. Butterscotch says lay that Boston puck line at -1.5 plus money with the Boston puck line today. So that looks pretty good, actually, considering they're a solid $2 favorite. You're still getting plus $1.10, maybe plus $1.15. But Dom says take
Not
Detroit
so
on the
fast.
puck line. So we got a little conflict amongst our team steam, but Mindy and I are solid on our confirmation between Detroit and Boston go over 6/25.
Yeah, I like that.
Consensus.
Detroit spread is what I prefer in that one.
Okay, I actually and I will go with butterscotch. For
And
friendly.
I will take Dominique Robinson.
Yes, you take Dom. I'll take Scotch. All right, St. Louis, and they've got looks like the former Detroit backup Grease in there going up against Nashville and Saros. Saros off to a bit of a slow start so far, but man, Nashville big favorite here. All of a sudden, they opened as low as $1.40. They're up to $1.75. They are a hot mover today. 6.5. 6/20, Mindy, just 6/20. I don't know what I was probably thinking about all those 6.5s we played the other night, but this is 6/20 for sure.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, I had Bennington in there too, right? Because he only allows the 1.68 goals here per game. I don't know if do you have any info on?
No,
Okay,
he's unconfirmed, but Greece is being shown on a majority of the sites. Uh,
okay,
but obviously, yesterday, uh, with the back to back, I guess that might be of concern. And I would just caution you: look at this line move, which has I say 140. The general opener that most people probably had available to them was 160, and you still have at least a 10-cent move here on a Nashville team that. Obviously is not playing as well as St. Louis, and St. Louis coming off the loss.
yeah. I mean, I was going to look towards the under. I'll still just go ahead and stay there. It's the I know it's a big trend, but it's 36, 11, and 6 the last 53 in Nashville. The under's 3-1-1. The Predators last 5. Blues here just aren't to, they're not scoring a lot of goals. Only 3 in their last 3 games, basically. And the Predators have only scored, 2 goals here, per game. I think it will still stay to the under.
I agree with you, and I wish because yeah, I mean, even though I had the wrong juice on there at 6.5 over 20, I might have just had the wrong because there were 6.5 unders out there. Maybe you saw those as well, but I think mostly we're seeing 6/20 right now. But I'm willing to go on this game with you, even with Greece in there. I like the under in this game. I like the move to the under here, and St. Louis, you mentioned it. I mean, yes, they had fewer games, but again, last night goals were a problem, and goals could continue to be a problem here. Saros just 1-3. I look for him to straighten things up a little bit. I like Nashville probably in this game at the big price. They are 1-6 against the puck line. I'm not fond of that, but uh, St. Louis 3-14 last 17 trips into Nashville. Keep that in mind as well. But Mindy, let's go under for another consensus play.
Consensus play.
All right, Edmonton. Another big favorite for Edmonton, $2 here, and now the total is moved lower to 6.5, maybe even juiced a little bit to the under now. Maybe 6.5 under 15, maybe 6.5 under 10 at some of your lower juiced sites.
Yeah, the Oilers here, they're finally getting out and away from their home ice. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the under. It's 7-3 in the last 10. In Chicago, 4-1 in the Blackhawks last 5 Thursday games. And, the Oilers, they've even been, shut out this season. So, yeah, I'm going to go to the under.
Yeah, Mindy, I'm going to have to agree with you again. I think, in fact, this is one that was going to make my card. The others, I think, were teetering, and I just, it put me over the top. Those were the ones I was looking to, collaborate with you on the
Right.
show. But this under was probably going to make my card. Stalock is really the only one of the, well, he's one of the confirmed goalies that by most every site right now. So Scotch has a play here. He says puck line pretty good value the way they've played lately. Well, yeah, I mean 5-1 to the puck line so far for Chicago. They're 3-0 at home. It's been a terrible place for Edmonton.
Right.
They've lost 5 straight at Chicago, giving up goals a lot of times. But I think today with Stalock is going to be my play here a little bit. I like probably. I don't know if I think Edmonton might be okay, actually, but I think we're going to see a low scoring game, and I want to take under with you at 6.5 for yet another consensus play.
Consensus play.
How about that?
I like it.
3 straight. All totals.
I know. That's why I said that's what you're getting from me today, Ramon.
That's right. Well, right in my wheelhouse. We're putting that day 2 days ago behind us. I mean, I whined about it, even though we were on those overs, and I was like, at the end, I'm like, wow, that's a lot of goals. We should have just played the grand salami, and that way we would have only lost one bet. All right, Washington, Kemper, Dallas, Ottinger. And in this one, Dallas is favored. This one's moving lower. Dallas, how about that? $1. I think it's more like $1.20, but I'd say $1.20. I don't know what you've seen out there, Mindy. And the total here is now 6 flat.
I know, but look at Ottinger though. 1.41 goals per game. So goals against average, I like the under here again. Head-to-head unders 4-1 the last 5, 6-1 Capitals last 7 versus Central, 5-1-2 to the under, and the Stars last 8 overall. Also 4-0-1 the Stars last 5 Thursday games too. So still like the under total here, Ramon.
I just like hearing you talk about it. It does bother me. 7 of the last 9 here have gone over, but or let's see. No, what did you say? No,
Under.
4 out of the last 5 meetings have gone under. You said, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And Dallas has gone 1-5 to the under this year. Now Washington has been an over team at 5-2. Both these teams have been playing pretty well. I think this game, it feels like an under to me as well. And like I said, it's at 6 flat. It's not juiced to the over. Let me fix the graphic there. Let's go under.
All right.
For a 4th consecutive total. I hope everyone in the chat's taking notes on this. We do have a pick from Dom on the side with the Caps. It sounded like you liked the Stars a little bit. And I'm kind of leaning with Dom here on the Caps, but the Stars are 2-0 at home so far. Teams combined 9-5 to the puck line. Both teams, I think, have looked pretty decent so far. But let's play this total and let's play it under.
Yeah, I lean to Dallas in this one, but
I feel like so much more. With 3 unders, I mean, we went the Detroit Boston game. I just feel a lot more comfortable and confident.
Okay, good.
I hope it comes across on camera.
Right.
All right.
The confidence level is very high today with you, Ramon.
Vancouver. That's I didn't go to sleep last night. Vancouver and Seattle. Demko and Jones, they were talking about on one of the other shows. If you got a handicapper that looks tired, he's doing a good job. Okay, that's me. Vancouver and Seattle. Seattle, they keep laying their, who would have thought Seattle would be favored in all these games now? And this one's up to $1.30. The
I don't
total
know.
is
Only
six and
their
a half.
second year in, getting some, getting some love from the bookmakers
Well, they're
there.
getting wins too.
Yeah. Demko is defeated. 0 wins on the season.
Whoa.
Kraken, they're, fourth in goals. And each of these teams, they rank 27th and 30th in goals against, 29th and 32nd in kill percentage. Give me the over here in this one.
All right, Mindy says go over with Vancouver and Seattle. And, we celebrated last Friday. I was walking out, I didn't know the result, and you said, hey, we won the Kraken. And I sent you that Kraken, let's get Kraken. And I'm going to go with the Kraken here. And Scotch agrees with me. Fade Vancouver. They're horrible. They are 0-5. They do have. They're 0-5-2. Seattle 3-3-2. Vancouver 0-3-2 on the road. So they did earn those points on the road at least. Vancouver's won the last 4 meetings. They've done pretty well in the series. And you mentioned, Mindy, the series kind of going over 3-0-1. The last 4 meetings going over. Mindy says go over, and I say Kraken. Let's get Kraken.
Again.
Yeah, sorry about that. Winnipeg and LA with Quick and Hellebuck going in this one. Make sure I got that right. Yeah, well, unconfirmed still. It's the Toronto San Jose game. I knew one game had both goalies confirmed. It's the last game, so not this one. But Hellebuck and Quick may be here, and LA $1.45 or so. 6/15 looks good.
Yeah, and I got to go to the under in this one. It's 9-1 in the last 10 games here. Unders 5-0 in the last 5 in LA. 5-0-1 to the Jets in their last 6 games, playing on 2 days rest. Kings, it's also 6-1 to the under in the last 7 Thursday games also.
All right, I'm going to take the Los Angeles Kings to win this one with Jonathan Quick as my play. Both teams come in 500. Interesting note, though, Hellebuck just allowing 2.2 goals against so far. But 9 of the last 10 meetings have gone under, did you say? Or is it?
Yeah, it's 9-1 in the last 10 to the under.
Wow, okay. And you have a Winnipeg team that's gone under in 4 or 5. Now, LA's going over, no doubt about it. They are scoring goals. And you know what? Sometimes that's been a problem for LA. So as a Kings fan, I'm kind of excited about that. So far, they've given up some goals too. I'll make no mistake, but kind of like that right now for LA. I'm going to take LA $1.45 or so. So I'll make them a video play here. I'll take the Kings, and Mindy will go under the 6. Winnipeg and the Kings. All right, this one does look like it has 2 confirmed goalies from yesterday. And it'll be Kallgren for Toronto and Kakkonen for San Jose. So pretty steady on the line here. Toronto, big favorite, 220, 6.5 under 15.
Yeah, so I was able to round out the card, picking only the sides. You're welcome, everyone. Yes. But yeah, taking the under again, under 7-0-1, and the Maple Leafs last 8, 4-0-1 to the under when their opponent scored 2 goals or less in the previous game. Under 3-0-1 in Sharks last 4, all overall 4-1-1. The Sharks last 6 versus a team with a winning record. Sharks here, they're 3rd in penalty kill percentage as well. And we know those Sharks like to wind up in the penalty box. Quite a bit here also. I'm going to, take the under, Ramon.
Scott says take Toronto on the puck line. I would, but they're 1-6 on the puck line. So I'm just going to lay another big favorite here, Mindy. I'm going to lay another $2 favorite on the show with Toronto. I think they get it done. Look,
Yeah,
San
I would go
Jose.
for the San Jose on the puck line for sure in this one.
Well, San Jose's 2-7 straight up. We know that, but Toronto, like I said, and you mentioned all those unders. They're a combined 2-12 to the under this season. The two teams combined in their 14 contests so far. San Jose winless at home so far. It's been a tough series for Toronto. Just 2-6 last 8 trips in here, and they've won actually just 6 of the last 22 overall. But right now, San Jose, they just don't look too sharp. And Toronto, I think they're pretty good, and I'll take Toronto, and I'll lay 220. A video pick here. Got to build up my winning percentage. That's what I'm going to do with these.
Next thing you know,
this,
Ramon's taking minus 750 on them.
Look, I gave you Florida at $2, Buffalo at 165, and Toronto at 220, and
money line parlay. There you go.
Throw in Nashville and Boston. I don't want to say I don't care.
I can't give that out. I just can't. It's
I do care very, very much. But
my nature. So we had to take totals today.
Yeah, well, we agreed on plenty of games. 4 out of the 10 games, and their premium picks. 4 games, Mindy. Detroit and Boston over 6, juiced up to probably a minus, and we might even have to go over 6.5 under. We'll see. But we're going over Detroit and Boston. Under in St. Louis and Nashville. That's probably definitely going to be 6 juiced over. Probably get even money on that. And under in Edmonton, Chicago, definitely going to be a little bit of plus money there, or at least even money on these under 6.5, and under in Washington, Dallas, where we might get plus money there as well, or even money. So I like that. We're taking 3 unders, and we're going to get even money or better, I think, on some of those plays. That is music to my ears.
That is something I can get behind.
The other night I was a little bit uncomfortable. Where I think I was wearing this shirt too. That was 2 nights ago, I think. Okay. All right, Mindy.
There we go. Are we ready?
Preview. Man, I feel a lot better about life right now with that kind of hockey.
It makes your sleepless nights well worth it.
Or a sleepless morning, I got to get some sleep before the champions. Before the I don't think I'll Europa League. I'm not sure. Okay. Appreciate all the comments. Great to see you all here as well. Keep them coming as we get in to the National Football League, Mindy. With tonight's game, I don't know where you can go with this, where you want to go with this, where you're coming at me with this, because there's storylines, certainly out there. There's injuries. There's Tom and Lamar. And Mark Andrews, and Giselle. There's actually props on whether or not
they're officially getting divorced, or
no, if the announcers will reference Tom's personal life, will they reference domestic trouble? That sounds a little harsh. Will they mention the divorce or potential divorce or anything like that? Now it's kind of vague. Those props don't interest me, but. There's something to keep an eye on if you're listening to the game tonight.
Yeah, this one it's kind of a mess everywhere. Because there's so much that can happen, right? I mean, you can have the Buccaneers go the same way they've been going, or Tom Brady could have the game of his life, or we could have, coaches making strange calls when it comes down to, the goal line with the Ravens. We could have fumbling issues. I mean, there's
big chokes, right? Remember the Ravens, they keep choking big leads.
So there's, like you said, there is a lot of storylines, to this one, where it's like, do I stay away, or do I love this? Right. I mean, it's so strange how it can go. But the Ravens are 4-3 in their last in their last one being that win against Cleveland, 23-20. Buccaneers 3-4 coming off to that struggling, Carolina team loss, putting up the least amount of points, for the week at 3-21. Ravens, though, they've won their last 4 against the Buccaneer, ranked sixth in scoring offense compared to the Buccaneers that just aren't putting up any points. Road team 5-0 in the last 5. I think I gotta pick the Ravens in this one, Ramon.
All right, Mindy's on the Ravens in this one. Mark Andrews looks pretty darn questionable in this one. Still like the Buccaneers defense. I don't think the Ravens will be able to run the football at all, and I think they could, I still like the Buccaneers defense. And look at Tom Brady's passing props. You talk about, is he going to have a great game finally, or I don't how you put it's 280 yards, right? I mean, do you think he's going to go for 280 tonight?
He's gonna have to go for 280
He's
tonight.
a very good point. Well, he's got the guys to do it with everybody's in there at least, right? Evans, Godwin's props are just almost as high as Evans, if not a little bit higher. We know Tampa can't run the ball, cannot run the ball, period, right? So is this the breakout game for?
Well, that's the question, right? Is it gonna be? Yeah.
Because
I think it's just as likely that can happen. It's still Tom Brady, everyone. It's still Tom Brady. He's struggling, but it's still him.
Well, and here's the thing. I mean, I'm always going to refer to it, right? Prime time unders right now, 7-14 this season. That's Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night games, not including some bizarre because it's nighttime in England or whatever. This is the regular 3 games per week, 7-14 so far to the under, Mindy. Unders are coming in right now, Mindy, at 60% on the season. So NFL underdogs, 59-44-3 this season, 57%. Here's the thing: red zone scoring is down, the lowest amount in 5 years. When they get in the red zone, teams are scoring just 56.5% of the time a touchdown, and teams are scoring either 3 points or a touchdown in 84% of red zone trips, which is the lowest since 2009 in 13 years. So teams can move the football, and then like all the quarterback analysts talk about how it gets to be tougher the closer they get to the end zone. So that's kind of what's happening. But for me, Mindy, look, we talk about all these Thursday night unders, but this total is open to, it was as low as 43.5, and now it's 45.5. This is supposed to be the breakout game, like I said, but for a player, Cade Otton, the tight end for Tampa Bay. He's kind of supposed to be the secret weapon tonight. So watch for Cade Otton. Maybe put him in as your first touchdown prop. Take his props over. He's kind of the guy because of no Cameron Brate. And you figure Baltimore has just a terrible time with tight end, with covering people, period. Right? This is not your father's Ravens, grandfather's Ravens, whatever. I don't know. Ravens aren't that old. I mean, they're the Browns. They're the old Browns. I think people might remember that. But
they're the old Colts for whatever reason. No,
they're the old Browns.
Okay.
Yep. The Colts are the Indianapolis Colts.
Okay, I thought it had flip flopped and went back, and
Baltimore,
everything to do with the Houston Oilers, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, the moving truck. Baltimore packed a bunch of moving trucks and moved the team. Moved the team in the dead of night to Indianapolis, and Baltimore just had a crusty owner that was. Couldn't come to terms when they played in an archaic stadium, and they said, "We've got a stadium for you." So I like the over, believe it or not, in this one between Baltimore and Tampa Bay. It's a big number, 45.5. Maybe that's why it's a free pick here, but Tom gets out after 3 points last week. Tom gets healthy tonight. I think the defenses will suffer on the short week here when it comes to these two teams. Lamar may also, but Lamar will have to do a lot of work himself. So Scotch and I are going to be on opposite teams here in this one. Tampa Bay, Baltimore. I like the over. Mindy is on the Baltimore Ravens. Maybe Mindy, I don't know what to tell you maybe this first half. I'm scared. Baltimore's blown double-digit leads 3 times already this season. So, all right, and that's our preview of Thursday Night Football, but we're going to continue on with the early card from Sunday. So let's get into that right now. And, well, it's London's favorite team, the Jaguars, their owner, Shad Khan, the Londoner. Taking his team over there. Both teams are 2-5, Mindy, straight up and against the spread. So we're back to putting, the crummy teams over there. Broncos weren't supposed to be crummy, I think, going into.
Right. They didn't expect it.
Right. I mean, and again, Jacksonville plays more games than anybody in London, in England. So here, though, you do have the Jags, the favored team here. And this one goes off early. Don't forget, we'll be on the air Sunday morning with our late card and also talking basketball and hockey. But the NFL late card, when this one goes off at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, and 6:30 Pacific, Denver and Jacksonville.
Yeah, Ramon's going to have one eye on the TV set during the show, I think, huh? Yeah, the Broncos, we lost. We know they lost that last one to the Jets, 16-9. Jaguars, they lost to the Giants, 23-17, and a really good one. Broncos, we just know that they just can't score. Oh man, it's dreadful. 14 points a game. That's it from $425 million quarterback. I don't know. Is he?
If you have the latest story, I'll let you continue. But did you see the tweet? Russell made. He was talking about how he said that on the charter flight back, the whole team was wiped out and they were asleep. But he was doing leg lifts throughout, walking down the aisle, doing leg lifts while everybody was asleep because he's still working hard for the next game.
I thought he was filming like Subway commercials.
Right.
The one that got axed.
Russell's more about himself, it looks like. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Say that story.
Oh, it's okay. I don't mind stories about Russell Wilson. I mean, I just thought it was just kind of in poor taste, giving the guy a giant bonus before he ever, stepped on the field. But I mean, they were trying to exude confidence, I believe, in him. But the under is 4-0 and the Broncos last 4 here. I don't see how I can't get away from this under game unless the Jaguars score them all. Yeah, but the Broncos have a good defense, so I just don't think they can. Gonna go under the total.
How many times we've seen the London game, and we're talking about all these punts, and they're like, oh, at least the
National Football League's all about, folks.
Yeah, and England fans love these kickers in the game. There's a great punting performance, and the score is 9-6 in the third quarter. That's probably what's going to happen here, Mindy, because we're going to go on the under with a consensus play in Denver and Jacksonville. We know, like you said, Denver 1-6 to the under so far, and Denver hasn't done too well in the series actually against Jacksonville. They play as conference foes a little bit more occasionally than than AFC, NFC, if you will. But let's go under. I think that sounds real good at 39, man. Seems like it's going to be.
I know they're lower and lower.
Well, it just seems like it's going to be in the low 30s to me. And Crush says Broncos cover the spread. You know what? They might. They're getting points from Jacksonville. Maybe they start calling. Think Jacksonville is a home field advantage now.
Right.
There with Mr. Khan, but maybe this is a spot for Denver. Crush might be right, but Mindy and I are going to be on the under here for sure. Right. That's what we'll be watching on Sunday morning, rooting for no points.
No scoring.
Yep. Kind of like my social life, Mindy. All right. Chicago and Dallas now. In this one, Dallas 9. This one's kind of moved in Chicago's favor, believe it or not. Well, the early look ahead had Dallas much smaller, but I mean, it went up to as high as 9.5, and now it's back down to 9. Well, let me bring it up on the screen, shall we? I show 9.5 there. It might be a juiced 9 at this point, but the total is definitely around 42. Dallas hosting the Bears.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good one, actually. Bears did look better, right? They actually were converting in the red zone, like you talked about earlier. I don't know. It's just one of those that, they kind of surprised me a little bit how well they did play against, the Patriots, but I did expect them to score, quite a bit of points. But then I have Dak with the Cowboys. They just started off real slow versus that Lions team and then brought it up. And I don't know if that one is more like, Detroit's not that great or if the, Cowboys defense kind of stepped it up here a little bit too. Bears, they averaged the whole 18 points on offense. But Dallas is at 19 points on offense. So again, but that's based off of a backup quarterback in there. I think the Bears are going to stay in this one. I'm gonna take the Bears at +9.
All right, and I'm gonna head in with the under here with Chicago and Dallas. Look, we've seen Dallas really put some real hurt on some of the teams
I
that
know you like Dallas
and
a lot.
here you have the granted Chicago's looked a little bit better. Fields has moved a little bit better, but not going against this defense right now. That's the way I feel about it. Dallas 5-2, straight up and against the number. Dallas 1-5-1 to the under so far. This series has gone over in 7 straight games, no doubt about it. But this Dallas defense, that's pretty good, right? Dallas 3-1 at home, Chicago 1-3 on the road. Getting good points there, Mindy. Well over a touchdown, so no problem there. I'm not so sure. Looking at that move, I kind of respect the move right now. So I might not hesitate to get involved there with you, but right now I'm going to go under with Chicago and Dallas. I might have some bear regret there. Crush says take the Cowboys and extend the spread. He says maybe what 10.5 more. Raiders and Saints, and Raiders are the team on the move here. It looks like they're up to a 1.5 point favorite. They were actually as high as a 2 point favorite, back down to 1.5, but it opened, I believe, as low as a pick. So Raiders are taking the action, and this total, one of the big movers of the week now, up to 49.5.
Yeah, I think I even saw it as high as 50. Raiders won their second game of the season, 38-20 over the Texans. Saints lost their last one against, Arizona, pretty big, 42-34. But that was with a ton of Andy Dalton turnovers. Saints offense, they average 412 yards a game. Raiders 382. Raiders have lost 6 of their last 10 road games. Saints won 1-1 against the spread in their last 9. I like the Saints, Ramon, at home.
All right, I'm going to go over in this one. I think in a AFC versus NFC matchup, and I'm not getting a great price here. Could have had lower. Certainly, general opener around 47.5. Look ahead line 44, but we see this number. You said it. I mean, maybe even as high as 50 right now. I'll go over 50 just to challenge myself here, since it's a free play on the show. You guys might get 49.5 right now, and if Mindy says there's a 50, boy, watch out. It might go even higher. Combined 9-4, these two teams to the over this season. Both teams have gone over in 4 straight. Vegas 0-6 against the spread their last 6 games against teams under 500. Like I said, Saints 2-5 against the spread and straight up. But Mindy says take the Saints, and I say go over with Las Vegas and New Orleans. Let's get some division play here now with the Falcons -4 and the total 41.
Yeah, I know those Panthers won the last game versus the Buccaneers, but it might have been, kind of their Super Bowl play. Falcons lost to the Bengals 35-17. I mean, Bengals just really took it to them, surprisingly. But again, it's because I think they really can't get anything going in the passing game. PJ Walker and Mariota, I think combined for 200 yards passing total. I'm going to take a look at the under. Under's 5-1. The Panthers last 6 here overall. I'm not expecting too much in the passing game, so that means we got to run a lot. It's also going to run that clock.
Division game, getting points. I didn't get nearly the best of the number here. This one opened as high as 7 in the look-aheads. I think in general the opener was 4.5 or so, and now it's 4. But you could have had other numbers. You could have had much stronger numbers. Atlanta's been a monster so far. One of the best spread team, right? 6-1 to the number so far. Carolina just 2-5 against the spread. Carolina's 0-2 on the road. Atlanta's 2-1 at home. Doesn't matter to me. I'm going to end up with Carolina here in this one, plus the points as my free play in this one. It's not been a good series for Carolina. Series has gone under, Mindy. You mentioned your play. 4-13-1 last day. Wow, okay. That looks pretty good. And Carolina 5-2 to the under so far. That could be as well. I have a pretty wide window here, showing too much volatility maybe for me to get involved with the total right now. I want the number to settle. I'm going to go Carolina +4. Mindy says go under 41. Those are our free plays in Carolina and Atlanta. All right, these teams only meet every few years, so this should be a pretty big game. Too bad they're not more closely rated in this one, but maybe Pittsburgh can surprise there. I don't know. Yeah. Philadelphia, right? Professional football. Never know. Yeah, Philly got to be confident coming in. Double-digit favorite. Total 43.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to look to remain undefeated off of that 6-0 record. They beat the Cowboys 26-17. Steelers are just 2-5. And their last game was a 10-16 loss at Miami. Eagles here, they're ranked in defense pretty high, only allowing 17 points a game. Steelers, on the other hand, without Watt, they rank 31st, in offense, I'm sorry, but been struggling on defense, but ranked 31st in offense at 15 points a game. So I'm going to go to the under here. I think it's going to be, probably one-sided. I don't know how much the Steelers can hang in. I like where, Kenny Pickett's been going here. Under's 4-1 the last 5 between these two. Again, I think it's going to be one-sided, but I'm going to go ahead and take the under.
Yeah, Philly's gone over in 7 of their last 8 at home, but Mindy, we're going to have a consensus play right here. I think this one goes under. I know we're not getting the best of it. We could have had as high as 45. We're going 43 here, but what is Pittsburgh really going to do right now against mighty Philly, the undefeated Philadelphia team? Yes, if they do hang in there, I would think it's going to be because they were able to limit Philadelphia a little bit. Philadelphia 5-1-1, last 7 at home against the spread. But let's go under for a consensus play in this one. Figure Pittsburgh, 2 touchdowns, maybe in a 2 touchdowns and a field goal, maybe 7. What is that? 20? That's 27. 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns, no more. Go under in Pittsburgh and Philly, and Mindy and I have a consensus play. All right, the Dolphins and the Lions. Dolphins here on the road, favored 3.5 against a Detroit team that covers spreads at home. Watch out. I don't know
either. Dolphins 4-3 won their last one against the Steelers, like we just talked about. Lions, struggle. They're 1-5, lost their last one to Dallas there. Lions, I don't know what, only scored 6 points their last 2 games while giving up 53. Is that right?
Yeah.
I'll take the favorite. Favorite's 4-1 against the spread the last 5 here between these two. I'm going to take the Dolphins.
I'll take the Dolphins with you. They really should handle Detroit. They could easily put up a big number here. Look, we're just when you think that Tua isn't Tua, he comes up with
It will be Tua.
with a good strong performance. I mean, look, sometimes there's disappointment, but this guy's going to continue to get better, I think, moving forward. So I think in a situation here, I think this one, yeah, could go over as well. But let's take Miami as our play. 3.5. I don't think we can get away from that hook, Mindy, but
Right.
we're going to have to go with it and take the Dolphins as a consensus play on Sunday against the Lions.
How those Lions like to find ways to lose, don't they?
Yeah, just will mention, like I said, 6-1 against the spread. Their last 7 at home. Miami, they definitely have failed their last 4 in a row, but Detroit is 1-5 straight up, right? So, yeah, I have questions again all of a sudden. This isn't. I'm tired of talking about week 1 when it comes to the Lions. I mean,
right.
They've gone downhill quickly. Cardinals and Vikings. The Vikings are favored here at home, but Arizona seems to be taking the action. It opened as high as 6.5 in a look ahead. Maybe it opened as low as 4 this week, but it's now 3.5. The move is definitely on Arizona, and this total is for certain on the over. Opened as low as 47.5, and now up to 49.
Yeah, it's always interesting what kind of volatility you're going to get with Kirk Cousins. I know I talk about it a lot. Are you going to get the 5 touchdown Kirk Cousin, or are you going to get the 3 interception Kirk Cousin? Cardinals are getting healthy there too. So I can see why Crush said he has a feeling that maybe the Cardinals are going to go on a win streak here. I'm not so sure it's going to be right here, Ramon. Vikings have won 4 in a row in their last meetings here between the Cardinals. Or I guess that I'll take it back. They're even 10-0 at home against the Cardinals since 1990. I think I think the Vikings are just going to be too tough here. I think they're going to run the ball. They're going to take it to them. I'll go Vikings at home -3.5.
All right, Mindy says take Minnesota there. I mean, they're 5-1 so far, and they're 3-0 at home so far. But I like, Minnesota 6-1 to the over their last 7 at home. I know Arizona's been an under team so far, and the trends kind of point to the under, I think, but the move is on the over. If they run the ball, that's detrimental to my call here. But I think it goes over. So I'm not necessarily ready to get on Minnesota yet either. I might be agreeing with the chat. So Crush said he has a feeling the Cards are going to go on a win streak. Maybe it's because of their hot coaching. Who knows? They're
Just getting Hopkins back helps them a ton too.
Sure. And I've got over in this one, Arizona and Minnesota. I'm not getting the best of it, so free play here. Arizona, Minnesota over 49. I said it opened mostly 47.5. There was one look ahead, even had it 46.5. So you can see 2.5 point move there so far. So for me, I'm going to go over. And Mindy says take Minnesota. Getting the best price, by the way. I would say, in fact, you might want to wait a little bit. I think more action might be coming in on Arizona. No reason to lay 3.5. I don't know. If you are worried, Mindy, that it might go to 4, I understand, but it's already been at 4 and now it's 3.5. So I don't know if it'll go back. I think in fact, it could continue to fall a little bit. So
yeah, I did get to see Brett Favre when he played for the Vikings versus the Ravens. So that was a fun one. I was always glad that I at least got to see him play in person.
Me too. I have sorry, I don't want to jump off the topic there, but I did see. In fact, I'm not one-upping you at all on this
No,
one.
I'm not saying
I
that.
say that I also saw Brett Favre, and it was a most. I just think because it's a most memorable game. I went on a road trip with buddies. It was that long ago. You might remember this game. So, still in my late mid-30s or something. I'm trying to remember the year it was. Maybe someone in the chat can remember this, but Brett Favre's father passed away, and he
Oh,
played the Oakland Raiders and threw 4 touchdown passes in the first half. We were guests of one of the Raider players, rookie Teo Johnson. So we went up there to watch this Monday night game, and everyone was talking about, Brett's dad and what he came out, and like you would expect great athletes do, channel themselves to greatness. And he threw those incredible first half. I think it was 4, might have been 3, but whatever the case, he was dynamite in that first half. Packers win the game on Sunday Night Football, and that's one of my best sports attendance memories. I've been to some good games, and I will never forget that one.
cool.
All right. And finally, we'll get to the Patriots and the Jets. In this one, the Patriots are taking action here up to 2.5, and the total 40.5. Wow. Maybe
Belichick doesn't usually lose.
Max Zappi, Bailey Jones. I don't know who's quarterbacking in. It might be maybe Tom's going to quarterback.
Right.
Maybe one of those old Patriot cat. Maybe Garoppolo's coming in.
Grogan. Steve Grogan's coming back to play. 1986.
Now we're talking. So, anyways, the Patriots, though, against those hot Jets, I don't know how they're going to do it. But, and I learned also, I went and I checked, the sauce is kind of a barbecue style.
It's barbecue and Asian zing mixed together.
Okay, I can.
So it's like a hot barbecue.
Okay, I can get behind that probably. I didn't order it yet.
You have to try it.
I didn't order it yet, but that does
sound Gardner sauce.
Okay, Patriots and the Jets. If the Jets win, maybe would you like to do a wing eating challenge on the air one day at 6 in the morning, at 9 in the morning, or
I'm up for that, right? I'm up for that.
7 in the morning.
Of course.
All right.
I love savory for breakfast. Well, way over sweet. I would prefer wings over donuts any day.
All right. What do you got here?
Well, I got that these teams are averaging quite a few points right now. I'm going to take the over. Over's 4-1. Patriots last 5 overall. Over 6-2 in the Jets last 8 games here in October. I'm taking the over. I think they're going to put up some points. It's going to be exciting. I like where the Jets are headed.
All right, I'm gonna trust the Sharps here. I'm gonna trust the Sharps that this is the spot for the Patriots against the Jets. That somehow they work through all these issues, and Belichick not even knowing what he's doing with his quarterbacks right now. I mean,
that's always a secret.
Yeah, and he kind of, I don't know what he said at his press conference. He kind of put his foot in his mouth a little bit, because he said, the interception came. He puts in Zappi. He said both quarterbacks were going to play, and then they went to the quarterbacks the next day, and they're like, we didn't know we were both going to play. I mean, or it wasn't so much some of the other team members maybe as well. Maybe when the guys went through, they're like, I might play. Zappi might be, maybe if Mac struggles, I might play. Maybe the quarterback room knew what was going on, but the rest of the guys apparently didn't. And so we'll see what happens this week. I mean, I think for the most part, we're expecting Mac Jones to start. I think it's safe to say Mac Jones is going to start, and maybe Zappi will come. Maybe that's how they're going to win. I don't know, but for me, the Jets, look, they've been great, but the Patriots have also been covering numbers, and so have the Jets. This series 1-5 to the under. Mindy, careful when playing at New York, but 40.5 seems reasonable. I will take the Patriots as my free play, and Mindy will take. And Mindy will take the over. That's what it is. I'm on the Patriots. Mindy is on the over.
We're doing it.
We've done it.
We're done.
I think that's it.
The noon games. Yes, that was it.
that is it for the show. Thank you so much. Want to thank everyone for joining us.
Recap.
Crush Diamonds, Scotch, Dom Robinson, dunking over people, James Paskley also joining us. Thank you. Great to see you here. A pleasure. And I forget how about AI Strag Life? He was here also. Maurice Walker Blake was with us as well. Mindy, great show. Let's head on over to our website one last time, Tony'sPicks.com.
You want to recap NFL real quick?
Yes, NFL real quick, please, while I kind of reset.
Yeah, so we got the Jags Broncos under 39.5, Steelers Eagles under 43, and then we got the Dolphins minus 3.5.
Well, we call that a 3-pack.
It is a 3-pack. The best 3-pack that your free money can buy.
Well, you know what? That's a great segue because I'll bring up the Morning Steam account and let's just take a look. How are we doing, Mindy, in the NFL this year?
I know. Look at that NFL.
That's pretty good, Mindy. We could just leave it there for a moment, and not to mention the NBA, but 26-13. Even I can figure out that is 66.7%. And right? Is that right? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't do math well unless it's on a calculator.
Okay,
anymore.
Well, whatever the case may be, that's an incredible record, actually. And people can say, and this is not a joke. I mean, we've been playing spreads and totals here on the Morning Steam this season. That is if you don't know, let me tell you, this is a really sharp record, folks. Yeah. This is really tough to do. Short sample size, whatever. But the season's only been going for 7 weeks. So I mean, what do you want, right? I mean, so far this season, 26-13. There you have it. So watch the show, watch our videos, and get on board with us. And again, if you don't catch the show, if you're listening out there on the podcast, have no idea what we're talking about, we're at Tony'sPicks.com. You can head on over to our website. If you ever miss this podcast or this coverage on YouTube, you can subscribe to these premium picks so you don't miss an 18-7 NBA run so far, all documented on the site. Yep. Tony'sPicks.com is a site where Mindy and I sought out to be a part of this program, project, whatever you want to call it, with Tony Tellez, because we wanted to be documented. That's the most important thing. And our picks are being documented over there. Mindy and I are consensus plays as part of the Morning Steam team Steam, and clicking right there, 26-13, Mindy, so far this season. So,
yeah, and most of you guys have been with us the whole time, so you guys all know those are legit picks that we put in.
Great point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you've been here the whole time, right? Crush, great to see you. Black Dark was here. Thank you. This must be breaking news. I'm gonna better turn on, unless he's making prediction. It might be something that just happened, and if anyone, not questioning it at all, as that sound, we're gonna come in here and say that. I'm gonna call up my tweet deck right now and get started on that. That would be the biggest news of the day, if not the week. Right now, I mean, everybody's calling for Cashman to that. Your time is up, Cashman. Derek Jeter. That's another story. We'll see what happens there. I do like Black Dark's prediction though, right? As well. Thought that's awesome. That'd be awesome for Dallas. So, anyways, that's big news. I kind of want to wrap up the show and head on over to Twitter and start to see and watch some of the talking heads right now, if that's the case, because that's big breaking news. And again, I can't confirm or deny we've been here on the show, Mindy. So hoping to get a second source or something. Say something.
I know, no one's talking. Like, is it a legit or it was prediction?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's that time of the morning where something like that was going to happen. This would be it. So head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all premium pick packages. Use that. I'm typing in stuff, Mindy. I just have to know right now if that is indeed the case. So I'm not seeing anything yet, but okay, let's get out of here. And the great show. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you.
All right. We'll see
Okay,
you guys back on Saturday morning for some more college football.
Yes, Saturday morning we'll be back. We're gonna cover. We've actually great job, great call so far, Mindy, on how many games we've knocked out because we've left ourselves with a nice little card to talk about on Saturday and still mix in the other sports as well, including the World Series Game
Oh
2.
yeah, that's right. We'll see how our predictions have come true.
All right. For
All right.
Mindy Hahn, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us.
Bye-bye.